Hola, clase. I'm really sorry that I can't be there with you today, but I wanted to make sure that I was able to explain this assignment for today, as opposed to having someone else do it. You are going to be creating a map of a city, which I kind of mentioned the other day in class. You are going to be allowed to either work by yourself or with one other person, only groups of two. You can pick who you work with. This is going to be worth 40 points, and today is going to be the only full class day that you're going to be given before it's due. I will probably give you a day or two, depending on how it goes, maybe 15 minutes or so each of those days next week to get this done. So you will have a little bit of time, but don't rely on having an entire class period because that's not going to happen. So here's the premise of the assignment. So you need to imagine that you've been transported to an alternate universe and you are the only person there who knows how to design a city, and you've been instructed to do so. You may base the layout off of an actual city, or you can completely create your own. So if you really want to use Joliet as an example and kind of mirror what's around you and what you're familiar with, if you want to do the city of Chicago, maybe another city in the US you've been to and you really like, or somewhere you want to go, or if you want to make a city that's underwater, on a different planet, on a place that doesn't exist, it's 100% up to you and your partner what you want to base the layout off of. And the requirements are you need to name your city in Spanish, so la ciudad de, and then a name in Espanol. Unless you want to do the city of Joliet, then it would just be la ciudad de Joliet. If you want to make up a fake city and put the name in Spanish, that's fine too. Just do not use English unless you're talking about a proper name of a city that already exists. You need to include 12 places in the city, so that's where you get your vocab words from. You have 20 words total, so you pick 12 of them. And you need to name them in Spanish as well. So example, la tienda de los gatos feos. So that would be the store of the ugly cats. So the de connects the place in the city to what it is that you want to call it. Again, this all has to be in Spanish. Número tres, you need to include an image to represent that building. So you are going to be drawing this out. Unless you're really good with computers and you want to create some type of blueprint on the computer, you're welcome to do that. But I'm not going to provide any instructions how to do that, but I do want to give you guys that option. If you do not want to draw, since you will have a little time next week, you can kind of draw out your blueprint today, and then you can print images at home over the weekend and then paste them on the drawing when you get back. It's totally up to you. You also need to label the street names. So all three types of streets need to be named. So you need to have at least one calle, one avenida, y un camino. But all streets have to have a name. I just want you to mix up the variety of what you have. Again, those names have to be in Spanish as well. Por ejemplo, la calle de los gatos. So the street of cats, or La Avenida Michigan, so Michigan Avenue. So you can label them either way depending on what it is that you want to say. It's completely up to you. Again, if you're making up the street name, it should be in Spanish. If you're using a proper name that already exists, then you can label it just as that second example, La Avenida Michigan. Palabras nuevas, you can use new words on this, especially if you're creating your own city from scratch. You're going to have to look stuff up. Again, use word reference, underline them on the paper, and then cite them on the back of the map so you're giving credit to where you got the word from. So, en español y inglés on the back side of the paper. I'm going to allow you guys to use as much space as you would like to create this map. So if you want to just use one sheet of paper, that's fine. If you want to use two and tape them together like you did with that clothing assignment, that's fine. You can use four. It's totally up to you depending on how big you want this to be. The nicer it looks, the better your grade is going to be. But just because you only use one paper doesn't mean that you can't get full credit and that it won't look nice. So if you have any questions with regard to this assignment, need clarification on instructions, feel free to email me, amertz@jths.org. Please use your time wisely in class today. I told the sub that if you are not using your time wisely, that I reserve the right to reduce the time that you guys have to work next week. So please make sure that you are staying focused and on task, and enjoy working on this as much as you can. And you're welcome to listen to music if you would like. And I will see you all on Monday. Que tengan un buen fin de semana, and I will see you then.